Finally, one of the most anticipated horror movies was released. An adaptation of the Ouija Board. Spirit Board, official trademark name from Hasbro. So I saw this October 24th, that Friday night it came out, 2014. Doing this review here on Sunday. The box office numbers are estimated $20 million, which is actually a few million more than the Carrie remake made, which is really the only way you could get a box office draw nowadays is a reboot or a remake. But obviously this was anticipated and rated PG-13, you gotta keep in mind, because the Carrie remake was rated R. And that was wise to do that, I think. So, but obviously it would have been more hardcore if it was rated R. Because I'm going to get into some of this, then I'll get into spoilers for people who haven't seen it and want to hear about it. Now, really good opening scene. There's not that much soundtrack throughout the movie, but they kind of surprise you with the, you know it's coming because you know that her friend commits suicide, and that's the catalyst for the whole movie. The opening scene, the blonde commits suicide. They hung up the Christmas lights too long or something, and she hung herself in the middle where the chandelier is, and it was awesome. Pretty frightening. Probably the pinnacle of terror in the whole movie, really. But there's actually another really good one that comes up too. Anyway, the lead girl, a group of high school friends. Oh, they even have Olivia Cooke, who I slighted when they casted her. But she was ravishing. She put on a good performance and was a solid final girl. She was best friends with the girl who commits suicide in the opening. And they do this whole poignant dialogue like, oh, well, you want me to stay here at your house? She comes over, well, oh, we'll meet you at the diner in the morning and I'll even order you your pancakes so that you won't be able to take it, to make it even more emotional. Oh yeah, and I like how all the parents like leave town immediately after like the girl commits suicide. The lead girl's father, Matthew Saddle, leaves. He was in I Know What You Did. I Still Know What You Did last summer. Anyway. And the lead girl, and she's house sitting the house that the blonde girl committed suicide, where the Ouija board's at. And you're like, give me a break. And it's still kind of like an open investigation, or it should be, even though she doesn't think it's suicide. Anyway. Jump scare after jump scare, and you get a lot of poltergeist activity, as you might imagine, and the board keeps on enticing them to keep seeking more answers, and you kind of like that tantalizing part of the script. And it could have been a lot more hardcore, though. I'd have to say one of the other good points is, this would probably be in my top 200 shocking horror moments, or terrifying horror moments, however you want to word it. When the board, the planchette, starts spelling out uncontrolled when they seek answers the second time. That moment's awesome. It ends up really... Alright, I'm going to get into more spoilers now, so if you want to wait until it comes out on DVD or whatnot, or just listen on. Anyway, so the spirit isn't quite demonic. It's like a channel girl from like a medium's daughter. And they try to do a twist. I thought the twist that they really should have done is maybe one of the other lead, or the teenage characters, had already been playing with it and possessed or something. No one even really gets possessed, only for momentarily. There's not much blood shed throughout. And you can pretty much predict who dies, except for the goth girl. The goth girl does not die. It's like the only horror movie you've ever seen where the goth girl doesn't die. And the part where her eyeballs glaze over and she's like, it's just a game, that doesn't happen. Only in the trailer. Anyway, like I said, actually I'm going to say this now. You could read a Ouija board, spirit board stories all over the internet on message boards and get a lot more frightened from that and a lot more intrigue. There was no bone chips being offered. There was no mini voodoo doll effigies. There were no burnt offerings, ancient incantations. There were whack ectoplasm and poltergeist activity. That's about it. Know what I'm saying? Anyway, I think that's pretty much all that I had to say. Let me go over this, see. Yeah, so then the ending, there's a pretty awesome moment where they dig up the body to release, like, the demons in her mouth and unstitch. That's an awesome moment. And, I think that's about it, really. And this was JBM from VillainNews. I'm out.